Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting your children immunized. Please call the Rockland Department of Health at 845-364-2520 to learn more or to schedule your free appointment.
Yes. Okay. My next question to both of you: can a vaccine give someone a disease it's supposed to prevent?
So I'll take that one. So there's two types of vaccines in general. There's what we call inactivated, and there's live vaccines. Most of our vaccines are actually inactivated. The only vaccines that are live are that we give to kids routinely are MMR, measles, mumps, rubella, and the chickenpox vaccine. And then we have the rotavirus vaccine that's also live. So if a vaccine is not live, there is 0% chance. There's no way. There's no way that anybody would get that disease from the vaccine. So that's most of our vaccines.
Okay.
Yes.
So another way that cannot be transferred to any other kids.
No, there's no
once
way.
you vaccinate.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the live vaccines, there is a very small risk, yes, that those who get the live vaccine could possibly get the disease.
Okay.
But I will use an analogy here. If you had a choice, would you go into a room with a tiger who just came out of the forest? Or would you go into a room with a cat who has been living at home with someone for 10 years and whose teeth have been shaved off?
Let's put it easier. A wild
a wild tiger.
Cheetah, tiger,
Yes, yes.
versus a domestic cat.
Yes. Which room would you go into?
Which room I be going to?
Yeah.
Well, without any doubt, I would love the cat.
Okay. So that's the concept of live vaccines. The cat can still pounce on you, you know, like
yeah, but I took my chance with the cat.
exactly, because when you give the live vaccines are so weakened, they've been modified so that they're so weak that even if you get the disease, it's not as bad. They don't cause side effects or severe disease as much as you would have gotten if you got the actual infection.
Ok. So, question vraiment, c'était est-ce qu'on petit monde qui est vacciné versus un petit monde qui n'est pas vacciné? Ok. Qui sera, est-ce qu'on a affecté? So, l'IBM nous remontre encore l'importance du vaccin. Ça veut dire que si petit monde est vaccin, c'est pas facile pour petit monde qui est vacciné. Et fois medo pour une contagieuse. Pour ça, il y a une maladie, il y a pour le transmettre, il y a un petit monde qui peut vacciner. Mais tout de même, il est important que pour petit monde ça ok, pour tout vacciner parce que l'organe population que tout le monde fait même bagarre là, eh bien risque pour danger est presque éliminé. Et ça veut dire c'est en référence, c'est même genre ouais l'été gain Covid là, eh bien nous ouais que il faut qu'on ait en pile monde depuis au vacciné pour bailler Covid là, eh bien population ça qui parle de maladie a réduit. OK? So c'est ça, c'est pour même concept là qui est appliqué pour Timonio avec d'autres vaccins que y a bail que tu mis au polio tout bagage ça. So c'est pour ça l'important. Et ça me dit c'est pas un bagage yo fait comme ça qu'on dit en plus monde comprendre à monde ça c'est l'argent y a fait. Non, c'est pas question de l'argent, c'est une question de intérêt et protéger la population. OK? So c'est ça lié. So therefore I just explain to them from my experience personally. Okay, you're always hearing a lot of people say the vaccine is not good. It's not good. Those doctors, those health department, it's just about money. It's just about money. No, I just explained. It's not just about money. Okay, everything you do in life, okay, you go to school, you learn things, and you do that because you know that you're gonna have to serve a large population. Okay. So I don't think anybody just go to school to learn something just for the money for the time being. Is you know there are going to be future youngsters that we should be protected and there should be a service there for them. That's the first thing in your mind. Yes, the money gonna come because you have to use it for other things that you're gonna need in life. But to me, that's the response. Every time I see somebody get into a field, go to school and learn a trade, I always say that person gonna do that to serve the population. Okay, so don't be afraid about vaccine. It is important. The more the population and a lot of people took the vaccine for any kind of disease, the more resistance, okay, the population will be versus that particular disease. Okay, so we have to protect each other. Correct? Now, before I go to the next question, I will feel very, very bad not to introduce Miss or Mrs. Beth, who's here with us, who's not going to talk. Cephalo, she already gave me a sign that she's not going to talk. She just here to take picture to make sure that she sends those information and related it back to whoever is watching. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct. So those two are the one that engage with this conversation here, right? There we go. But welcome. It's a pleasure to see you. We talk on the phone, but it's always good to see the person physically. Okay? So you are as young that I taught. Very young people sitting here, believe me. If I had to guess, the average is about 26.
Oh, if you take me out, maybe. If you join me in, that average is much higher.
Well, I just based by the look. Forget about the age now. Looking at you guys, I mean, congratulations, by the way. You guys doing a fantastic job with yourself. All right? Okay. So let me go to the next question that I have for you here. Like I said, does any child need vaccine if all of the kids in school are immunized?
Yes, so according to New York state law, all children attending public and private schools need to be up to date on all of their required vaccines. So this includes MMR, DTaP, and varicella, and others for diseases like measles, pertussis,
Sure.
which is whooping cough, and chickenpox. We do allow medical exemptions for children who have health conditions that prevent them from getting vaccinated. So these would be determined with a family doctor. However, this law is in place for a good reason. These exemptions were removed for personal belief from public health law because we did have vaccine preventable illnesses like measles that were spreading out of control due to low vaccination coverage in schools. By limiting the exemptions to only the kids who need them for health reasons, we can make sure that the most medically vulnerable people in our community are protected in case of an emergency. So given this, it is important to make sure that everyone in school is fully immunized to make sure that the children with the health conditions are protected in case of an outbreak. Because we can't predict what is going to happen at any point in the future.
There we go. Well explained. Ça veut dire que les faits nous connaissent. Pour question de te poser, est-ce que un petit monde qui est déjà vacciné qu'a affecté par l'autre petit monde qui pas un vaccin? Encore une fois. Et même réponse pas toujours très important parce que c'est pas question de petit monde qui va vacciner contre petit monde qui pas vacciné, mais c'est réaction. Réaction, c'est que les tout petit monde ça vacciné, bien il est important. Ça veut dire que environnement protégé. OK, encore une fois. C'est ça suffit. Si tu es vacciné ou même ou pas vacciné, eh bien, il y a une grande chance toujours, même s'il est vacciné, parce que le vaccin n'est pas 100%. OK? C'est bon qui est 100%. C'est ça fait chaque fois, il y a 95%, mais depuis que vous avez un vaccin 90-95%, c'est un ratio qui est très haut. Parce que ça veut dire que tout 10% de chance ou gagne vraiment pour affecter par la même maladie. Mais si l'autre petit monde n'a pas gagné ça, il n'a pas fait lui, eh bien, c'est plus grand chance lui-même, non seulement il a affecté, puisque nous voyons ça vraiment, pendant le Covid, là, on sait des gens qui prennent vaccin, des gens qui prennent vaccin, et le plus souvent, il faut qu'on ait des gens qui ne prennent pas là, il être très à l'écart de gens qui font là. OK? Et c'est en même temps, encore, ouais, des gens qui prennent vaccin pour Covid, et pour regarder encore, tout de même, ils deviennent prendre Covid encore. Et qui ça te fait ça? Parce que y a une population, à un moment donné, ça, on sait des gens qui peuvent prendre vaccin. Mais immédiatement, j'aime ça dit tout à l'heure, une grande population prend lui, et bien dans ce cas-là, le problème ça n'a pas existé en dans la communauté. Non. Okay? So I just translate back what you just said and I add a few things so they could understand the concept of it and the reason for it. Okay, my next question. Can getting so many vaccines at one time harm any kids?
Thank you for asking this question. It's very important because often what we see is that parents don't want all the vaccines at the same time, and then they delay the vaccines because of this concern. But when vaccine schedules are created, it's carefully studied so that you know that it's safe to give all those vaccines together.
Okay.
So no, when vaccines go in together, it's studied carefully and to make sure that there is absolutely no harm to the child. I want to share one study about this. There was one study where they checked the stress hormone level in the child after they got one shot versus if they got two shots.
Okay.
And it turns out that after you get one shot, your stress hormone
went up.
Yes, but it's already peaked. It's very high. If you get the second shot, it does not go any higher.
Okay, so that's a study that. Okay, that's a good thing because I'm pretty sure that's what everybody's thinking process. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I give my son take a shot today from one vaccine, then take another, will that creating certain problem?
Yeah.
Okay, physically for that particular kid. But you said it well. Once you take the first one, okay, so the ratio went up. The second one, nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
Because
So
the stress is
the
already
stress
high.
is already high.
Yes.
So therefore, there should be no problem at all.
Yes.
So c'est bien. So c'est ça me demandé. Les gens ont une belle explication sur ça. Il faut qu'on ait que un petit monde qui doit prendre plusieurs vaccins, même presque même là. Ça n'a pas bien affecté parce que depuis le premier, il y a un pressure qui monte tellement haut que l'on prend deuxième, l'on prend troisième, quatrième, cinquième, pas aucun effet qui peut ajouter pour monter l'air voix plus haut. Ça veut dire que la balance capable établie qui permet vraiment que Timon ça est en bon physique état et soit medo que pas aucun effet qui peut le faire sous lui de fait que l'obligé de prendre plusieurs vaccins. So, c'est ça. So, si nous avons des questions sur, on est un peu nous-mêmes toujours des questions sur le problème ça yo, Timon ça yo pour qui ça l'école yo, pour qui ça yo fait un paquet de vaccins, tout bagage polio, meso, chicken pox, tout bagage ça yo, mais il faut qu'on ait vraiment quel que soit jour, on prend même 2-3 vaccins, ça n'a pas pris aucun effet qui peut permettre que Timon vienne un problème ou bien activer une série de l'autre maladies. OK, so, la pause et puis on va retourner à l'autre question.
Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting your children immunized. Please call the Rockland Department of Health at 845-364-2520 to learn more or to schedule your free appointment. Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting...
Okay, we back again with the next question. Why should any child get a painful shot if vaccines aren't 100% effective?
So friends, I'll take that one. I'm a mother. If there's anything in my life that I'm most proud of or feel the most responsible for, it's my child. And you know, the other, like 2-3 weeks ago, I took her in for her DTaP shot.
Okay.
And as I took her, she's in this very happy mood, like laughing, and at the back of my mind it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna take her in for an injection. So I don't discount how hard this is sometimes for parents. A shot, I don't take that for granted. It's pain that your child experiences. But then, you know, I think about, okay, if my child gets the shot, the pain lasts 10 seconds, she's angry at me for 5 minutes, and then it's over.
Okay.
If she gets sick, she's gonna be sick for a week at best. She's gonna be miserable for a week. If she gets sick and goes to the hospital, she's gonna get IV lines, IV fluids, IV antibiotics, and the pain that she will
She's gonna go through a lot more pain.
a lot more. So that's, you know, I'm not discounting sometimes how hard it is to take your child and you know, oh my god, I'm gonna inject my child. But that's parenthood. You have to make tough decisions because you know it's the best for your child.
Okay, so if once you try to say realistically as a mother, okay, you understand the consequences of it. If something happened,
Yeah.
okay, then they're gonna be a lot of more shot, okay, by going to the hospital, to the emergency.
Yeah.
Now, because of refusing possibility one, you might end up having to deal with 3 or 4 more different things.
Yes.
So that's what you're trying to provide.
Yes, and although the shots are not 100% effective, they are close to it, or like 90% effective. And more importantly, even if you get the disease, you're not going to end up in the hospital. You're not going to end up with the severe form of the disease.
Okay. So the reality is a lot of things are not 100% in life, right?
There you go. Yes.
So, pour bien éclairer cette situation, il faut qu'on ait vraiment, plutôt que parfois on fait bagaille yo avant, et soit me dit peut-être ti moun nan ka prend on piqûre, bon, que me mettre le comme ça, que ti moun qui perd prend piqûre, il y a même grand monde qui prend piqûre. Mais par exemple, si son bagaille qui mandé à un moment donné pour le faire ça, plutôt faire qu'on y a les situations présentées au lieu que ti moun vient développer une série de l'autre bagaille encore à cause de ça le pas de faire qu'on y a là dans emergency qu'on y a obligé qu'on paquet l'autre bagaille pour que lui capable répondre avec lui qu'on a pas le faire plus mal que s'il te fait action avant. So, c'est ça il veut expliquer nous. Parfois, pendant même on protéger, il faut qu'on ait que son maman est tout. Pendant que on même on protéger avec sensibilité ou émotion vis-à-vis de petit tout, mais on peut le faire souffrir plus devant de fait que le pas obligé qu'on paquet de série de bagages que le pas obligé prend pendant un moment de émergence ça. OK? So, c'est bien expliqué. So, moi traduire pour nous. Encore on peut passer à next question. Okay, my next question is why do healthy kids need to immunize?
Healthy kids need to be immunized so that they can stay healthy and protected. Anyone who is not fully vaccinated is susceptible to vaccine preventable diseases like whooping cough and the measles and polio. And when someone is at risk of contracting illnesses like these, like when someone is not fully immunized, they run the risk of developing harmful complications that can sometimes last for the rest of their lives, or even potentially lose their lives as a result of the illness or its complications. Again, I mentioned before, we can't predict which illnesses will emerge and spread in the community in the future, so it is really important that we prepare to the best of our ability. And this requires everyone who's medically able to receive vaccinations to make sure they're up to date.
Well, encore une fois, c'est bien dit parce que vraiment, ou pas comme ça peut arriver à l'avenir. OK, mesures de préventionnelles toujours très important. OK, ça veut dire que de fait qu'on pas contre ça n'a pas souffrir demain, mais on connaît ça qui est présent pour aujourd'hui. OK, so on obligé de faire li et ça veut dire pour préventionnel pour Timouna peut-être il pas de maladie aujourd'hui mais peut-être dans une semaine 2 semaines il a gagné. OK, so le fait que les engagé encore m'a répété encore leur population ou bien un virus dehors. Eh bien, dans ce cas-là, on est obligé de protéger Timonio dans l'immédiat pour plus tard, pour ne pas souffrir en conséquences qui sont plus graves. So, c'est pour ça que nous venons faire nous comprendre ça que vous avez la peur avec un tifla aujourd'hui, eh bien, il y a plus de problèmes pour vous plus tard. So, désormais, il est important vraiment pour prendre beaucoup de considération de ça qu'a fait aujourd'hui. So, c'est ça, encore une fois, dit. Eh bien, nous pose encore et dire, et puis, nous allons retourner avec d'autres questions. On n'a pas avancé et pour le moment. OK? We taking a pause and we coming right back. I'm doing that because I'm glad to see you guys here.
Hey, Babo, vin palo.
Mais moi, Mike, ça qui passe?
Est-ce que j'aime te moun fêter sans gâteau?
Fêter sans gâteau, bagay sérieux di la mine. C'est tant qu'on un match football sans ballon, mon cher.
J'en parle là. Pas dis ou gen tan konnen. Qui pi mon référence qui gen nous a fait gâteau en Amérique, non?
Pas konnen. Mon son gâteau que te faut manquer manger doit être Mike. Quand elle était sorti. Kay Lili, mon cher.
Ah bon? Sans doute. Ou kon téléphone Lili ak email Lili?
Pas konnen.
Eh bien, frère, j'en parle là. Ou kon
Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting your children immunized. Please call the Rockland Department of Health at 845-364-2520 to learn more or to schedule your free appointment.
Jésus te fait nous une grosse promesse.
Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting your children immunized. Please call the Rockland Department of Health at 845-364-2520 to learn more or to schedule your free appointment.
20 ans d'existence.
Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting your children immunized. Please call the Rockland Department of Health at 845-364-2520 to learn more or to schedule your free appointment.
Yes, encore une fois, nous retournons avec Dr. Pi et puis Miss Elisabeth Hollandini qui est là et puis nous avons aussi Beth Cefalou qui est avec nous, qui vient là peut-être 15 minutes, mais elle n'est pas entrée dans la conversation. Et l'autre question que je vais poser, c'est une question que vraiment qui toujours une tangible on a parlé. So my next question to you, wasn't there a problem with Rotavirus vaccine?
We're getting to the tough questions now. So yes, the rotavirus vaccine it came out, the one that we're talking about that had a problem in 1998. And it's a live vaccine, and they found that the kids who got it, there was higher rates, like 1 in 10,000 kids got intestinal blockages. But that vaccine was in the market less than a year.
Okay.
And immediately when there was concern arising, the approval for that vaccine was withdrawn.
Okay.
The current rotavirus vaccine is completely different and has been in the market for several years now, and is not causing
No
that.
negative reactions.
Yes.
Okay.
And I do thank you for this question because I think that this highlights an important thing, is that vaccines are monitored very, very closely. It's not like they get the approval and then they're out and nobody cares. No,
Okay.
they're being watched very closely, and if there's any concern, the approvals are taken back.
Ok, so ça li di la gon va accepter le retrovirus en 87 qui te font paquet de problèmes affecté ti moun sans tout bagay ça yo. Mais immédiatement dans une année, yo te content retirer la market là, yo allé réellement faire étude sur lui encore et puis jusqu'à nos jours vaccin ça là. OK, et vient vraiment pas de problème. Ça veut dire que dans tout le bagage qu'a fait parfois, tout le bagage pas jamais fait 100% au commencement parce que bon c'est l'autre bagage qui parle leur rentrer vaccin dans le système, conseil de l'autre immune système ou bien c'est de l'autre organes qui pas habitué avec vaccin ça c'est normalement parfois ils font une réaction. Et soit medo nous tout comme ça dans rapport médical, c'est ça te fait vraiment il y a des doses au comprend, j'ai expérience ça avec ma maman, il y a des doses au bali et qui peut être capable de faire désactiver lui mais c'est à cause de grammes non so si vous parlez même moi ouais ça vraiment avec lui tout le temps eh ben on allait au docteur pour faire diminuer les grammes que le prend et puis effectivement il est normal so ça veut dire que on pas jamais fait qu'on commune dans 100% mais au moins graduellement on c'est le progrès qu'a fait sous activité ça so c'est ça qui fait me poser question ça OK. This is another one because I know people ask me that question. I had a lady that came here because her son suffered with autism. Okay. So my question to her: do vaccine or thimerosal, cause autism?
Yeah, so I think one of the more common concerns is this, right? Is autism, and it started because this is one of the drivers of why people question vaccine. There was a doctor called Andrew Wakefield, and he made up this data. He just like
I would have do.
made it up completely, like fiction. And it's been withdrawn, and it's now it's proven to not be true. Many studies since have shown absolutely no link between
To
vaccines
vaccine autism.
and autism. And with regards to the thimerosal, many studies have also shown absolutely not. It does not cause autism. It's not linked to that. But still, to reassure everybody, in 2000, the CDC came up with a rule that no vaccines will be administered in the United States that contains thimerosal.
Okay.
So any vaccine you receive does not
Not
contain
contain
thimerosal.
thimerosal.
Yes,
Okay.
that's completely gone from our vaccines.
Ok. Well, et encore une fois, c'est question été posée qui parce qu'il y a une série de vaccins à cause de thimerosal qui ont été ajoutés là-dedans, qui te cause vraiment et on série de problèmes, mais il n'y a pas aucune relation avec autisme. Que tout le monde toujours dit, c'est peut-être vaccin, il a cause, mais petit moins qu'on bagarre, après il prend quelques mais c'est pas ça. Ok, c'est peut-être l'autre problème, mais c'est pas vaccin. Ça qui cause problème ça. So, il faut qu'on ait ça qui était là-dedans, vraiment, il était retiré, il n'a pas utilisé thimerosal encore. Eh bien, dans ce cas-là, tout le bagage a marché. Parce que, encore une fois, toujours ajouter, pas tout, parce que dans le concept d'expérience, mais c'est que tout le bagage qui fait pour commencer, il y a une réaction. Mais c'est pour ça, le système médical là, c'est pour ça, quel que soit ce qu'on fait, même dans la relation, on est capable bien avec madame ou avec et un petit problème entre nous-mêmes, de fait que nous faisons marier, nous pas contre l'autre. Très bien, et puis on a bien développé une série de bagages qui sont différents. So, c'est, à un moment donné, c'est ajustement pour faire. Okay? So, what I just explained to them, okay, in anything you do in life, you're just having a relationship. Okay, you married with somebody, and you don't know that person totally, right? So while you're living, then you find out there is a certain problem. Okay, now you're going to have to make a decision whether you adjust it to that person or you leave. Okay, so in that case, that term also left totally, right?
They left early. Not that it was thymerasol's problem.
That's correct.
Thimerosal was still okay, but I guess the marriage just
It
didn't work
wasn't that.
out.
There we go. Okay. Do vaccine cause SIDS? SIDS is a sudden infant death syndrome, multiple sclerosis, and other problem.
So similar to
the test.
autism, no, it does not. Multiple studies have shown it does not
It
cause
doesn't
this.
cause it. So ça veut dire que, encore une fois, vaccin n'est pas cause sudden infant syndrome, non? Death syndrome, non, on a un petit monde qui vient prendre d'après parents, d'après un peu le monde, qui doit venir prendre un vaccin, et puis le regarder, ouais, petit monde a été carrément, et puis on se coup à mourir, par contre ça rien. Ok? So, il faut comprendre que ce n'est pas un vaccin qui fait ça. Ok? Peut-être d'autres complications, mais ça n'a pas gagné, ça a prouvé que petit monde n'a pas gagné problème ça. Ok? So, we're taking another, probably the last pause before the next three questions, and then we will be done for today, right?
Yes.
I don't see you guys anxious to leave.
No, we're having fun.
Okay, good.
Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting your children immunized. Please call the Rockland Department of Health at 845-364-2520 to learn more or to schedule your free appointment.
Yes. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who's speaking?
This is Maya Mellon, Tucson.
This is who?
Maya.
Oh, okay, Maya. Do you have a question for the ladies here? We
Yes,
have
I actually-
Dr. P, we have Miss Elizabeth Olandini, and we have Professor Fu, who's not participating in the conversation. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone that's there right now at Model Radio. I did post a question on the Facebook, but I guess I guess you guys didn't get it.
Okay, what was the question? We are so focused.
Basically, for like today and several years back, actually, getting vaccinated has been a very touchy and personal subject. I just wanted to know, how do you guys deal with that?
Very good. Yes, the question is for.
I can't hear, Lamar. You're very low. And
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, you're very low, and I have you on.
I don't know why, but what about now?
I guess Can I hang up and go back on the Facebook Live and she can answer? Because
Yes, you could do that. I don't know.
So basically,
Okay.
you'll see it. Yeah, like it's a very personal, touchy subject. How do you guys deal with that?
That's a good question because a lot of they know they are receiving that all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So thank you
So
very
let me
much
go
for
back on the live.
thank you for your questions. Who want to take this one?
I'm happy to take it.
Okay. We have Dr. P that's going to answer that for you.
Yeah, so no, thank you. Thank you for recognizing that, first of all. I think that the past few years have been very tough for vaccine advocates and for people who work in public health. I think that especially during the time of COVID, there's just been a lot of suspicion. And everybody in the community has gone through a really rough time, right? Like dealing with this disease that is a threat to your life, a change to everything that you do, can't go out anymore, have to change your behavior. So it's been tough for everybody, not just the public health people, not just vaccine advocates. I would say that having that perspective helps a bit, because when people sometimes question us or so, at the end of the day, we're all human beings who are going through the same thing. We've all had difficulties, and having that perspective of just trying to understand what everybody is going through helps us. And more importantly, knowing that what we are doing is important and right, and it's morally right. And I can sleep at night with what I'm doing.
Okay.
So and I actually would not be able to sleep at night if I did not advocate for it.
Okay.
The message may be difficult, but knowing that what I'm doing is the right thing, and that helps me manage things. So yeah, I guess that's the way we all get through that.
Well, en tout cas, c'était Maya qui t'a posé question. Et soit nous connaissons Maya, c'est petit Dieu Toussaint. L'étape suivre programme, non? Et c'est lui-même tout que je vais l'expliquer mon yo qui voit lui, m'attend moi une poser question, bah aux surprise là. Mais tout de même, c'est comme ça bah et il faut qu'on ait vraiment lui-même mon qui parler docteur se parle avec moi docteur Pi son monde vraiment il gain comprendre réponse parce que lui-même il est petite. Ça veut dire que l'homme on a prendre décision et il est en profession et il est plus bien préparé, plus bien comprendre et fait qui va le faire le monde en prend vaccin. Puisque petit il apprend tout petit il faut à l'école faire on sait de bagages et lui-même c'est avocat pour vaccin parce que c'est dans area ça lui couvre c'est là le docteur c'est là le professionnel bien s'il mettait petit il encore il dit il peut à l'aise elle pas dormir elle connaît que petit li ou bien monde que le connaît pour vaccin parce que le connaît sous pas faire li eh bien réaction capable plus mal. OK. Et si on me dit là, je vais un exemple, parce que le Covid, là, encore une fois, est fait par là, le fait que pas comprendre ça, nous te ouais en pile monde mourir. OK? En pile monde est affecté, mais le fait que tu commencé à engager dans la vaccination pour Covid, regarder où ouais, il y a de moins de monde qui disparaître dans la population. OK? So, c'est dans ce sens ça, pour faire référence, expliquer ça, parce que pour comprendre la raison d'être, que par vaccin plus important que par prendre. Okay? So what I explained to you is just what you just said, but I add also because sometimes we look at the COVID when it just started. Okay, a lot of people die because they're unknown. Okay, once we start providing vaccine to the population, we will see the death reduce. Okay, that doesn't mean it's totally eliminated because it's a new thing. So, okay, they're still going to COVID process still. Okay, certain viruses coming after that, but again, you don't hear every day. I mean, tell you honestly, I had a lot of anxiety every day. Usually, I'm laughing, I am very upbeat, but when I find out there were so many people going to the hospital, friends of mine losing their life, okay, I didn't want to wake up in the morning. so I could meet people, seriously, okay? But now I am comfortable. Why? Because the vaccine has done the job. They reduce the percentage of the dying people, okay? The population is more confident, okay? People more receptive to talk to somebody without have to engage long distance. So therefore, on top of it, my feeling about that, it does work, okay? Whether you believe it or not, but it does work, okay? So my next question to you is, why do kids need vaccine for a disease that's been eliminated?
Okay, I'll take that one. Then I'll give the mic to Elizabeth.
Okay.
So there's a difference between eliminated and eradicated.
Eradicated.
Yes.
Okay.
When you say eliminated, for instance, polio at some point was eliminated from the U.S., but it still existed.
It still exists
In other areas. Eradicated, the only disease that has been eradicated is smallpox.
Okay.
No other disease has been eradicated.
Okay.
And again, that means that there is no more of that disease anywhere in the world.
Okay.
And if a disease is eradicated, you don't need a vaccine for that. Nobody gives the smallpox vaccine anymore. But if it's eliminated in this country, but still exists in other parts of the world, it's a matter of time before that virus or that bacteria will come back. Everybody travels, so the case, for instance, with polio is exactly that, right? Like the U.S. was polio-free for so many years, but it was circulating in the rest of the world. So that's why we still kept giving polio vaccines. Unfortunately, the uptake
Is
went
that
down.
because we have an influx of immigrants coming from other places, or
Nah.
why that?
Not the immigrants, but even just routine travel for fun. Like if you visit Haiti or if I visit India or the Philippines,
Where the disease
where
still
the disease
exists,
still
right?
is, you could, and if I happen to be, which I'm not, I'm fully vaccinated. If I happen to be somebody who's not vaccinated, I can carry the bacteria or virus back with me. And as I go back to my other country where I live, I reintroduce that in the country.
Okay.
So it's not, necessarily just the immigrants, but routine travel
Travel,
for fun,
okay.
just routine stuff. So even if you live here, it doesn't mean that you go back and you're safe or everything like that from necessarily bringing back if you're not vaccinated.
I am glad that you answered that way, and I did that specially by design, because you have a lot of expectation out there. There's immigrants coming here and causing all this kind of problem. So that's the reason I said immigrant, because I follow the politician in the United States, okay? And I hear for political reason, okay, they say a lot of things. And if you do not understand politics and how they go about it, then we're going to be in a situation that we'll be fighting against each other. So I'm glad that you answered. It's not about immigrants, it's about where you travel, where the country that's not really taking total care of that particular disease will react it again. Okay, so thank you very much for that particular thing. Yeah.
Mabdila Creole, coach Lamar, je suis tellement content information yo y a ba yo. On promet yo émission ça, m'a pour repasser dans collègue mon la caillou pour s'attendre parce qu'il y a vraiment pile d'informations l'interview ça nous faire.
Okay. What you just said, he's so happy about this interview, okay, that he's going to replay it again, okay, for the people that's not listening to it right now will be able to hear it again, because this is very informative, okay? So therefore, thank you.
Thank you.
I welcome that, because we need some time to not only one time, but at least to keep repeating it. Because as a coach, I know a lot of repetition work. Okay, that's a part of the training. Okay, so c'est bien. Et encore une fois, il dit encore sur la question que je me posée là, c'est que vraiment, nous, on sait de vaccins, on sait de bagages qui fait encore, pas rien qui est totalement éliminé. Et soit mais tout le bagage là, et à un moment donné, il y a vraiment, soit pour aller dans le pays de l'autre côté, peut-être ou même au cas, sous pas un vaccin, au cas d'une transport et maladie dans le milieu qu'on vient. Moi, qu'on nous découvert ça déjà, mais c'est un moment qui était très important encore pour nous être capable de poser question ça. Okay? My last question to all of you, or to both of you, okay? Where can parents get affordable vaccine for their children?
So if your family has private insurance, generally you are covered for any recommended vaccine at your doctor's office. However, even if you have Medicaid or Children's Medicaid, Child Health Plus, or you're uninsured, you still have the option of. In the U.S., we have a program called Vaccines for Children, which makes sure that uninsured kids can get the vaccines they need. And you would generally need to call your local health department for that information. So if you live in Rockland County and you are not covered for any reason for the required immunizations, you can call our clinic and get the information about eligibility and how to secure that for yourself.
Okay. C'était Elisabeth qui te répond à la question ça. Il faut qu'on ait vraiment un office qui clinique qui là. Ok, ça seulement qu'à faire au carré et puis surtout pour tout le monde, pas de problème pour tout le monde, il y a un vaccin. Ok, parfois vraiment il ne doit pas gagner assurance. Mais nous connaissons ici, nous sommes toujours vraiment très précautionnés. Ok, de fait qu'on n'a pas gagné assurance, ça veut dire qu'il n'y a pas gagné facilité qui peut permettre vraiment que tout le monde vienne pour un vaccin ça. Parce que vous connaissez, si tout le monde n'a pas pris un vaccin tout, eh bien ça peut arriver. Ok, tout le monde qui est bon côté lui, qui a voir avec eux, ou bien dans l'école peut l'affecter. So, dans ce cas-là, oui, il y a une facilité qui a pour à deux bois pour permettre que tout le monde s'aille pour un vaccin. So, anything that you guys want to add, Dr. P, you have anything that we did not cover that you feel strongly about it?
No. I think that your questions were very deep, and I thank you really for the opportunity for us to come here and reach our very important community members, especially of the Asian community. You've asked very important questions that I hope people take the time to listen to. I will say, a lot of these questions and perhaps more, we have a lot of materials that we can distribute. If people really want to learn more, they can go to our website. We also have these books for you, which is so deep. It's like reading a medical book. It's so detailed in the answers. It's available on our website in electronic form, or if you want a copy, we left some here with you. We'll give you more, so people can come and crash your radio station or come to the health department or give us a call and we'll give them a copy.
Okay.
So yeah, with that, I'll give it
Thank
up.
you, Dr. P. Miss Elizabeth. Miss or Mrs.
Miss is fine. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anything you want to say to the listener or you want to add? Or
No, I think between you and Dr. P, you've summed it all up. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity.
she's been modest.
She did the hard work.
She did but anyway, thank you very much. First of all, once again, I thank Spencer Lee that provide that view, that to get together and actually presented that message to the community. Thank to her. And also, I would thank Beth Fuki, as we had conversation 2 days. And she's here. I hope next time, because it's not the first one, there's going to be many more, okay? Maybe the next one, she will be able to fill us in with what she's doing, okay? What kind of big job that she has with the county executive, right? With Ed Day and stuff like that. So, thank you very much, Dr. P. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. That was a pleasure. That was an honor to have you here and share what you learn about vaccine, okay, to protect the large community. So we thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
You too.
Bye bye.
Did you know that the Rockland County has low rates of childhood immunization? This makes our children vulnerable to the spread of deadly diseases like measles, polio, and pertussis, also known as the whooping cough. The Rockland Department of Health reminds parents that immunizations are the only way to ensure your children are protected. Don't wait. Ask your trusted pediatrician about getting your children immunized. Please call the Rockland Department of Health at 845-364-2520 to learn more or to schedule your free appointment.
C'est ça, n'a retourné.
You know,
Là, je suis tellement content. Là, m'a dit,
Ouais,
dernière question, il doit poser.
No, it's not a question. Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad sometime, you get distracted. You're so happy with what just took place here. And my last thing to say was to thank the person, okay? And you listen to the spotlight, okay? The voice of that person is the same person that called and asked a question. She's the one that made the list. That's the voice you listen to, okay? Her name is Maya.
Maya, yeah.
And she did a fantastic job with the spotlight. So she was the one that you were listening.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Thank you, Maya.
Yeah,
And thank
okay.
you for with that really wonderful question.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in Florida actually.
Oh,
and she's
really?
listening to
Wow.
us in Florida. That's what I said. Whatever you do here, okay, the world is listening to it. Okay, they're seeing it. So therefore, thank you, Maya, for not only for doing a great spotlight, but also for asking such a nice question, very important question. Okay, so thank you very much, and also the gentleman that did the Creole one. It's the gentleman here that did. And what's his name? Georgie. Okay, he's the technician here. Okay, and he's the one that did the Creole one. So if you listen to that voice, that's his voice. Okay, so everything done locally. Okay.
you.
So thank you very much once again. We have to go.
Florida.
Yep.
That's a big reach.
Mm.